So today might be the beginning of a new series where I try and make tracks inspired by some of my favorite lo-fi artists. On that note, the artist we have for this week is Alex. Just Alex. His name is Alex and he's known for making nostalgic lo-fi. He used to be very active during 2017 to 2020, but after that he hasn't released as much. Over those 3 years he has garnered hundreds and thousands of monthly listeners and millions of streams. In fact, you might recognize him by this infamous lo-fi track called Burn Marks on My E-Piano, which has a staggering 24, almost 25 million streams on Spotify. I'm gonna be making a song in the style of Alex, inspired by Burn Marks on My E-Piano. A quick note, all the mixed and unmixed stems of this song, including the mixed and mastered WAV file, will be available in our membership, so make sure to join if you want them. All the sounds are royalty free, so you can do whatever you want with it. Check out our membership if you want to know more. So Alex usually has electric piano driven chord progressions in songs. Nowadays, it is pretty hard to find a free electric piano that actually sounds good. So I actually went with the stock electric piano by FL Studio. You can find it in packs when you go to the sample pack folder. Just go to Instruments, Keyboard, and Electric. Rhodes is also good, but I feel like electric is a little bit closer to his sound. But we will be utilizing the Rhodes. I do have a chord progression in mind, so... Nice. Just clean it up a bit.
12 seconds later.
So this is the E-piano progression that I made. It might sound a little too close to Burn Marks on My E-Piano, but the song is inspired by it. So the effects that I have are an EQ. And for this shape that you see on the EQ, I started out with a radio preset, and then I just expanded it a bit because I didn't want it to sound that closed off. Next, an OTT. It's to like highlight those high notes. The high notes sound really good, so I just wanted to like accent it. Next, a crystallizer with a slight detuned delay to give it that nostalgic vibe, I guess. After that, a tape mellify. You can basically use any lo-fi plugin, like any plugin that gives it that lo-fi characteristic. Finally, a limiter with the gain boosted a little bit because it was too quiet, but we will come back to this plugin in a bit. So yeah, with all that, this is what it sounds like. Also, on a quick side note, in the membership thing that I mentioned, I will also start including the MIDI files for the chord progressions and the melodies that I make so you can use them with your own sounds. So now the good thing about Alex is that his songs are very simplistic. There's a lot of space in the mix. At the same time, he makes it sound full, like electric keys, bass, melody, drums, and that's pretty much it. It's nothing like the contemporary lo-fi you hear nowadays that's more cinematic than it is nostalgic. I'm just gonna add a quick bass on top of this. Now we're gonna need a very nostalgic and memorable melody. And for that, I'm gonna be using this stock Rhodes sound that I mentioned earlier in the instrument packs, where you can also find the electric piano. Is it perfect? No. Can I make it work? Maybe. It is the best I could do to make it as similar as possible to Alex's sound. But anyway, these are the effects that I have. An EQ with another radio preset. This time I didn't expand that much. It's still the same radio-ish sound. Maybe I should open it up a little bit. There we go. And then of course we have our OTT, depth at 27%, so it's only a little bit of that slight saturation. And we have a camel fat. I just wanted a bit of a bit crusher, so that's basically what I just use this for. And then of course we have the tape mellify with the lo-fi quiver preset, which is what gives it that wobble. And then a reverb, ozone imager to widen the sound. And then finally a limiter. Why do I have this limiter? I don't know why I have this limiter. I think it was a mistake. The gain isn't even turned up. So we have our bass, our electric piano, and our Rhodes melody. So yeah, we're actually halfway through. So before I move on to the drums, I'm just gonna add a quick ambience, meaning some vinyl sound. Drums time, drums. So we have our simplistic drum pattern now. So yeah, this is the drum pattern that I have. Very simple. So I've routed all those sounds from their specific channels to a drum bus. And on that drum bus, I have a tape mellify with an analog tape preset, which is giving it that crushed and filtered sound. And then I have a compressor to boost the levels just a little bit. Remember when I said that I added a sidechain to the electric piano? Finally, a limiter with the gain boosted a little bit because it was too quiet, but we will come back to this plugin in a bit. I'll show you why. I'm going to be sidechaining my kick to the electric piano. I'm going to boost it all the way down to show you what it sounds like. That's a little too much. I'm going to do the same thing with the bass. You have to make sure that the electric piano and the bass are sidechained exactly the same. If you can't figure it out by ear, all you have to do is look at the wave patterns on the channels and just mix and match until they're perfectly in sync. Now, sometimes he adds these vocal chops right before a drop, you know, the classic lo-fi way. So let's just find a cool vocal.
I'm not trying to stay here for real.
Let me tell you something.
But you gotta play it much louder, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you, man.
Producers don't rap.
You know, it's ridiculous.
This has got to be the most simple track I've made in a while. I don't know if I would say this sounds exactly like Alex's. Definitely sounds inspired, I guess. So I'm just going to do a little bit more of light mixing. After all that, this is what it's going to sound like. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I hope you like the beat. Let me know in the comment section if it sounds anything like Alex's songs, if I have done him justice or if I have just the whole thing up. Like I said before, if you like this track, the stems, both the mixed and the unmixed, as well as the full mixed and mastered WAV file of the full song will be available in the membership. Go and check out our other videos if you like this. I'll guarantee you'll like them. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.